Hey, and welcome to episode 5 of my free-to-play Neverwinter series, where I upgrade a character from level 1 all the way through 80 and onto endgame, entirely free to play. So, here I am on my fighter, and I have been leveling him up. In the last episode, we got to level 20. Now we go on to progress a whole lot further. First up, I continue along the main Linklater storyline, where we go to the Plague Tower. Here we have to fight a whole load of mobs and whatnot, and then you come to this weird puzzle, where you have these 3 statues. You have to rotate each of them to make sure that they light up. That red gem at the bottom will light up when it's rotated in the correct position, which will be facing forward. Anyway, in the first puzzle, you only have to rotate one of them. Then we go on to realize that Linklater is actually bad. He's been put up to something, and basically fight him. After we fight him, then he flees into these tunnels underneath the Plague Tower. We chase him down again, and we fight him again. After we fought him, get another statue puzzle. This time we have to rotate a good few of the statues to get them in the right spot. Then we proceed all the way up the rugged stairs, killing mobs as we go. This time we come to another statue puzzle. However, this time the statues are missing their things that they're holding in their hands. We have to go and actually search for the items. You have to search for the staff, the flower, and the shell, and equip them on each of the statues, and then you're able to rotate them. These kind of puzzles I actually pretty like, and I'm a bit sad that there isn't more of them. It kind of puts apart Neverwinter, where it isn't just a kill game. You more have these puzzles, and I really like that part, and I wish they had more of them. However, of course, in some situations when you're doing repetitive content, puzzles can be just an inconvenience and annoying. Once you've solved them once, they're just really annoying to do again and again. Anyway, you finally reach the top of the tower, you kill Razad, he turns into this big monster, and you finally kill him off then. And we got to level 21 then after killing him there. And then we continue on. I go head back to Protector's Enclave, and I pick up this quest, where essentially he sends us off to go collect our first artifact. We head over to the Sage's shop, and we speak to this NPC, and he basically gives us artifact recovery quest, where we'll be able to go and search for these artifacts, and we'll basically be given one of them of our choice out of 3. So we head over to Black Lake, we enter into the Quagmire Barrow, we fight a bunch of the mobs, and we finally enter into the Forgotten Vault. Here we have to interact with this skull, and after doing so, this bridge of fog will materialize, and you'll be able to make your way over to this large circular platform, and you'll have to then go fight a bunch of mobs. We do this a few times, killing the mobs on each of the platforms before proceeding on to the next platform. On the 3rd platform, I found the actual mobs there like really tough. You probably might find it as well. There was this one troop in particular, the Shock Trooper Devil, and he also had these 2 blazing skeletons, and damn, they would deal quite a lot of damage. I had to keep moving away from the Shock Trooper Devil just to make sure he didn't hit me, otherwise he'd kill me. So I'd get up close, hit off my encounters, and get away from him as quickly as possible, avoiding his attacks and thus being able to kill him eventually. Took a little bit of time and a little bit of coordination, but I managed to do it, so we got by. Anyway, we proceeded on across to the next bridge. We fought this magma brute and whatever. Done the same thing as we did with the devil, avoiding his attacks and just doing my encounters whenever I know there's a little window where I can hit him, basically. We finally proceed on to the next platform, where we meet this Lich, Orlandus Quagmire, and he basically is here to test our knowledge. He basically gives us a question to answer, like what was responsible for the destruction of the illustrious noble house of Quagmire, and you basically have to select one of the answers. I selected the armies of Neverwinter, as that seemed to be the most like, why would you think Neverwinter is the bad guys in this situation? But yeah, apparently they were, and I was correct. So if you go ahead and do this, that's probably the answer there. Anyway, we got the answer right, and we proceeded on. I believe if you get it wrong, you just have to fight the Lich, and I don't think he's that hard. We do that, and we proceed on to the final platform. Here we manage to obtain the sealed casket, and we make our way back to the Sage's shop in Protector's Enclave. We go back to that NPC, and he gives us a chest where we can have a selection of 3 of the artifacts. I chose the Aurora's Whole Realms catalog for its utility to summon a shopkeeper vendor. Can be actually quite handy. Even if you have full VIP benefits, you still can't summon a shopkeeper. So this utility of it can be quite handy. However, if that's not up your street and you can't be bothered with that, you could get the Lantern of Revelation. It's actually a very good artifact, especially in endgame, due to that 10% debuff it puts on enemies, where we essentially all gain more damage by it. The Warders of Elazad is a terrible heal over time, so I wouldn't even consider using that artifact. Even on its mythic rarity, it is still garbage compared to the amount of hit points we have, so don't waste your time on it. Then I want to do a whole lot of leveling, so we continue on to Black Lake Ruins, where we do a whole bunch of questing following the main storyline. At this point we got to level 24 and we go to the Bounty Hunter. Here at this Bounty Hunter in Black Lake Ruins, we can purchase a head, arms and boots that have utility enchantment slots. And now if you remember and you watched that episode, we went and bought Azure enchantments with those adventurer seals. You can still go ahead and do so in Protector's Enclave. And using those Azures, we slot them into them. At this point, I only have enough currency to buy the arms and the headpiece, so I go ahead and do so, and I slot those Azures in. We do some more questing, and we finally go into like this solo zone where we have to basically go through a mine and kill a boss at the end. And I decided I'm just going to kite all the mobs, so I'm just going to run past all the mobs and lead them all the way to the end boss, and we'll all kill everything at once. Be a great idea. I do so, we get to the boss, and yeah, we die. We completely die. I'm not powerful enough to do this yet. So yeah, we had to go and restart the whole thing and just kill the mobs as we go. Anyway, after this we got enough currency for the Bounty Hunter and we bought the boots and slotted the Azure in there. At this point now I have 37.4% experience bonus gain. So whenever I complete a quest and whatnot and gain that experience, or even when you kill mobs and stuff you gain experience, I'll gain that 37% more of that experience, and therefore I'll level up a little bit quicker. We done some more questing and we finally got to level 26. At this point I'm like, screw Black Lake. I decided I'm going to start the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. At level 26 you can start this. So we went to the campaign tab of the Tyranny of Dragons and we clicked start the quest and we accepted it. Then I went to the quest tracker. I hid all the Black Lake quests that I had, as yeah, I'm not coming back here. I've done this zone so many times and I know all the quests off by heart, and it's just for me really boring. Those of you who are just starting the game and this is all new to you, highly recommend you go ahead and finish the zones, as sometimes they can be quite interesting and the experience there you might have can be quite fun. Anyway, picking up this Tyranny of Dragons campaign quest, we now have to head over to Neverdeath Graveyard. We accept the quest from Sergeant Knox in Protector's Enclave and we head over to the Neverdeath Graveyard, where we meet this NPC Harper Windle. We accept all the quests that she has, and also from the NPC adjacent to her, and then we head over to Mr. Doomguide Volak, and we accept the quests that he has for us. After killing a few zombies, we get our first Shard of Empowerment. These are what you will need to upgrade Mount Callers. And yeah, I do not have one yet. I believe you can only get them at level 80 in dungeon chests that you get in queued content. Anyway, we followed the quest line, we beat up a Red Wizard of Day, and then we returned back, handed in the quest, and then we accepted the next quest. At this point we have to go find a whole multiple different NPCs, Doom Guides. This quest lasted a whole lot longer than I expected it to, so we missed that interval, that window where the dragon spawns. We go and we first talk to a ghost, and we lay her to rest by burning her body, then we rescue Doom Guide Winloth, and we go on to rescue Doom Guide Ganelon. Anyway, we head back, we do some more questing, and we finally get to level 27, which allows me to open the next Adventurer's Reward Pack, Adventurer's Reward Pack 5. We open this pack and we get an artifact. Along with that, we get Portable Altar and some potions. This artifact is really terrible, and do not waste your time upgrading it. It doesn't go all the way to Mythic, and it has no active power whatsoever. It's only good for a secondary slot. So, at this point I head over to the east side of Neverdeath and we complete some of the campaign quests for Tyranny of the Dragons. We beat up some cultists collecting their documents. This needed to complete the first quest, Cult Communications. we finally complete this quest and we can go ahead to start the first campaign task. This task will basically take 20 hours to complete, and we go ahead then to collect 2 more quests. We go ahead and complete these quests while waiting for Charthraxis to return, this being the dragon, and the timer you can see there again is below the minimap and also on the map itself. Then we wait for the dragon and he finally arrives. Now, ideally, I warn you, if there are more than a few people actually waiting for the dragon, make sure you have some AoE power slotted in your hotbar, in your power tray basically. These AoE powers, you want to be able to cast them when no enemy is nearby. Now, the reason for this. Soon as the dragon is about to return, you'll all get put into a cutscene, you'll see the dragon like swoop down, then you'll all get teleported to like the outside of the arena, then you all want to rush into the middle. As soon as you see the circle, that circle of the boss appearing on the ground, and you'll also see the markers for combat advantage. As soon as you see that, that's when you want to hit off your AoE powers. Now, I didn't actually realize this at the beginning. I figured this out through more experience through doing this, that you can actually hit the dragon in that window of time where you can't actually target him particularly, but doing AoE damage in that area will hurt the dragon, and thus you'll gain credit for killing him. Now, the reason for this is because, yeah, he will die so quickly. He'll die so quickly that if you don't hit him hard enough, like if you don't get one of your encounters off, I managed to do so with like Bull Rush and hitting him with an anvil, that you won't gain the credit if you don't hit him hard enough. So anyway, we managed to do so. We gained the credit and we completed that quest. So at this point, completing all those daily quests, we returned back to Harper Wendell, handed them in, and now she sends us back to Protector's Enclave with the Harper's report quest. So we head back and we meet Harper Boad in Protector's Enclave, and she gives us a whole load more pages of arcane lore. These pages of arcane lore are necessary for basically obtaining the boon points. So that is everything for this episode. We got to all the way to level 27 here. Hopefully this is maybe somewhat helpful, perhaps enjoyable to some of you. And basically this series is just keeping track of what I'm doing with my character and cataloging it as we go. If I've presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. And we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.